What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, home of people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, the one and only Austin Creed, and my friends, I'm going to try to keep my voice today. I'm drinking some hot coffee to try to get my throat all, good to go. Because normally, sorry, I'm going to try to keep that to a minimum, but I thought about not doing a show today. I'm serious. I thought about, what? My doctor said that, to minimize talking, I should probably not be doing it. That's why I didn't do the morning show. I was going to do it. I was like, no, doc said I shouldn't do it. But you know what? Forget all that. I want to do this show today. I cannot go through a day and not do a show anymore. Not because I feel compelled, but because I love doing this. It's my passion. I love doing it. So... But it ties into this on this other topic that I really want to make the focal point of the show. Give me 1 second. And I lubricate my throat a little bit. But gentlemen, if you're an older man, you probably know this already. But young men listening to the show today, ladies, you're welcome to stick around, but this ain't gonna be your show today. This is for the gentlemen. Now, gentlemen, young men, listen to me very carefully. I understand. I'm not one of these older guys that's 40, 50, and I'm talking like I was 25 last year, or I know what it's like, even though the world has changed so much in the last 10 years, much less 20 to 30 years. So I don't talk like I was a has-been. I'm in my early 20s right now. So believe me when I tell you this, we win in the end. We win in the end. Now, I know if you're in high school, college, or even if you're maybe in the corporate world right now, you look on Instagram, you look on TikTok, you look on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. You look at that and you see these girls getting on yachts, getting on planes, getting, these fancy dates, going to the rooftop bars, and you look at all these things and you think, dang, man. I was born the wrong gender. Man, this ain't fair. Why am I losing out here and they're winning? Well, gentlemen, we win in the end. You're thinking short term when you look at that. Women have a 10 to 15 year golden age. Usually between the ages of 16 to 30. Sometimes a little extended, depending on how much work they put in themselves and how much plastic surgery they get. But that's when they live in life on recruit difficulty. But then after that window closes, it's a wrap. They go into veteran difficulty almost overnight. For you, we start out at veteran difficulty from the rip. And we got to build ourselves up, grind our asses off, to get anything in this world. We might be lucky because our father, our grandfather, great-grandfather, whoever put in some work gave us a head start, some of us. But we still got to work our behinds off to get anything in this world. This is why I say we win in the end. I look at guys in their 30s, 40s. They ain't out here talking about how they're going to pull some hose, they got to run game with the mouthpiece, all that garbage. No, they ain't doing none of that. They're saying, I could fix that bind. Shout out to CGA. I could fix that bind. Or they're out here just saying, hey man, I'm choosing now. Because these women, they want older men. Oh yeah, sugar daddy. Yeah, big business going around. No, I'm not saying you need to do that. You could be married if you want. I personally wouldn't recommend it, considering the marriage laws and the divorce rates and whatnot. Wouldn't recommend it. But if that's what you want, to each their own. It is a very sacred institution. But let me tell you this, gentlemen. If you're a young guy listening to the show, it's going to be tough. And I speak this as someone who's currently going through it, not someone on the other side. I'm in it right now, just the same as you. I'm in it right now. You have to work. You have to work for it, because in the end, we will win. Now, it might take 5 years, 10 years, 12, 15 to 20 years, but we will make it. Why do I say that? Because so you sow, so shall you reap. If we sow the seeds of success, abundance, and victory, that is what we will get. Versus if we sow sorrow, discontent, revenge, all this BS, it's not going to help us. It's only going to hinder us. I get it. It's very easy to be upset, resentful. I get it. Oh yeah, it's very easy to get upset and resentful and say, oh, these girls are turning me down. You know, I can't get a date, or I can't get the girls I actually want. I'm stuck with the women that I don't think are attractive or whatever. I totally get that, bro. Totally get that. Guess what? You know the sugar daddy she's getting with right now? That's going to be you in about 15, 20 years. That's going to be you. But you got to pay your dues now. It won't be yours if you're just slacking off, doing a bunch of random crap thinking that you're going to make it to the big leagues. No. You're not guaranteed the big leagues. So stop wasting your time. If you have a consistent rotation, then maybe you built up passively. If you're on the top, 15% of men genetics-wise when you're young, congratulations. But control it. Don't let it just run you ragged, because then you will be at a disadvantage. So listen to me when I tell you, you got to think long term. Do not try to get married when you're young. I think it's a horrible idea. That has not always been what I thought. When I was programmed, aka taught, that you want to get married when you're young. Yeah, I might have agreed with that 100 years ago, but I don't agree with that now. With the marriage laws the way they are, with the natural age gap that most relationships fit into, and whatnot, my friends, those days are gone. We do not live in a society that enforces monogamy anymore. I did this show not long ago talking about how we need to get up with the times. I know if you're a traditionalist, you're not going to like to hear this. You're going to think I'm siding with the opposition in your mind. No, I'm not. What I'm saying is I'm an independent thinker. I am a party of one. I am not someone who just subscribes to what everybody else thinks. I'm not a member of the party or the pack. I am a lone wolf, a lone ranger in the wilderness, trying to carve out my own territory in the intellectual grand scheme. That's what my goal is. That's what I do. Is it tough? Hell yeah. Because I get attacked on all sides. Guess what? It all goes back to we win in the end. Taking risks, putting in that hard work. Let me ask you something. Hold on. Let me take a sip of my coffee because my throat's hurting again. Let me ask you a question. What is it you want out of your life? You want to be an average Joe who has an average house, an average life, average girlfriend, all that? Is that what you want? No? Then why are you following the script for the average Joe? Well, you probably ain't thought about it like that, huh? You probably thought that, I'm going to do what the same thing everybody else does, but for some reason, I'm going to break out of the pack. I'm going to be special. I'm going to catch a lucky break, and everything I ever wanted is just going to fall into my lap. Or I'll get that one golden ticket Willy Wonka ass opportunity, and then I'm just going to shoot way up to the top. No. Sorry. No, that's not how that works. You want to know how guys like Elon Musk made it? Guys like Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Larry Ellison. You want to know how those guys made it to the top? They were cold-blooded. They saw opportunity. They won some, they lost some, but they won more than they lost. They never gave up, and they took what was theirs. They didn't say, hey, I'm waiting for someone to hand me something. Hey, you know what? X, Y, or Z person owes me something because of my race, because of my oppression, because of whatever. No. They didn't do none of that. They said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be average. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to make it work. That's what they did. And guess what? I guarantee you it was hard at the beginning. Oh, yeah. You think it was easy? Hell no. It's not easy. I poured pretty much every dime that I have currently into this show, into my books, and into working hard to produce content and build my brand. Guess what? Am I out here crying saying that, oh, you guys aren't buying my book. Oh, my life is so hard. No, I'm not doing none of that. Nobody owes me anything. No one owes me jack, but I'm out here doing it because I love it. And I know that eventually I'm going to make it. You won't win tomorrow. You won't win next week. But you will win in the end. Gentlemen, with all this stuff going on social media from women who want to pretend like... For women and men, we're different people. I know that's a shocking thing to say in 2023. Oh my gosh, men and women are different? That's impossible. It can't be true. Austin, I refuse to believe that. It's fake news. Not true. Well, contrary to what the mental health experts and whatever people say, it's true. It's called biology. Anybody who's gone into 8th and 9th grade could tell you that. I know I learned about biology when I was in 9th grade. Male, female. I learned that there was a difference. But, going off that tangent, women have a short period of time where they can cash in on their beauty, their fertility, their youth. Gentlemen, our youth is largely not that important. It is a stepping stone to winning. But so many men throw their youth away. Our youth, you ever heard the saying that youth is wasted on the young? Maybe I just hang around a lot of old people who tell me that. But let me tell you something. You want to win in the end? You got to get on your beginning now. Most of you haven't even crossed the starting line and you want to talk about winning in the end, how you want to win. You ain't even on the track and you want to win the race? What are you talking about? And they wonder why they're so stuck in the rat race down the street. They're not in the real race of life. They're stuck in the rat race like everybody else. Or they're part of the orgasm Olympics, trying to get everybody they can and pretend like they're a Mac or that they're a strong, independent, powered woman. No, that's not an accomplishment. Guess what? I don't think there's ever been a time in the history of humanity where we've had more opportunity to get more sex that's just been so socially accepted. Guess what? Not an accomplishment. Does it feel good? Yes. But guess what? Napoleon Hill called this out about 100 years ago. So this is nothing new. But Napoleon Hill, almost 100 years ago, talked about this concept through his book, Outweighing the Devil. And he came up, I don't think he came up with it, but he was the one who I first heard talk about this. He said, through his character, the devil, he said that if man took half the energy he took in the pursuit of sex and channeled it to his career, he would never know poverty. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend trying to, go on dating apps, trying to hook up with women, trying to, trick and do all this crap? How much time do you spend on that? Now, it's one thing if you have a girl in your rotation that you could just say, hey, come on over for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. And then you do your wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and you move on. That's different. But if you're out here tricking, you're out here throwing your time away down the garbage disposal for hours and hours and hours, that's a loss, fam. I gotta tell you right now, that's not winning. Now, it's never free, by the way. If you think that getting puss is free, you ain't seen a bill yet, man. You're always paying. Whether you're paying with your time, money, attention, whatever, you're paying, bro. So I would advise you pay with one of those different payment plans, because if you think you're going to get it for free, nothing's free. Someone pays for everything. There's no such thing as free. And if you like the free lunch, you already failed one of the laws of power by Robert Greene. Talks about how I think it was law 40 out of the 48 laws of power. Despise the free lunch, because either A, it's a deceit, or 2, it's the discount. It's not what you want. It's a knockoff. It's no good. So if you like the free lunch, wrong mindset, man. You shouldn't even be listening to the show, because guess what? You're still in the rat race. You gotta go to square one. This is square 2. You ain't in square 1 yet. You go to square 1. But gentlemen, we win in the end. But if you ain't even on the starting line yet, you gotta get there. Now you may ask, well, Austin, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. What do I do? How do I start making money? No. It's not about making money right now. No. You're trying to harvest See, here's the thing that people don't get, and I didn't get it either at first, so I'm not talking down to you. But here's a problem. So many men want to talk about, oh, I gotta make money. Oh, I gotta make money. Oh, I gotta make money. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. I love Napoleon Hill. His books are fantastic. Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't listened to it, you can listen to it on YouTube. It's an audio book. Fantastic. I listen to it every night. Not the whole thing because it's like 10 hours long. But I listen to that and Not Winning the Devil every night. I play it as I sleep. I believe there are 15 chapters in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And out of those 15 chapters, not one of them talks about money. Not one of them has money in the title that I'm aware of. Why? Well, that would be the equivalent of a farmer trying to tell his son how to rake in the harvest when he hasn't even sown the seeds. Gentlemen, if you're trying to earn a lot of money when you're young, there's no shame in that. Yep, the problem is if you're focused on money, you're focused on what you can get. But what have you given? What have you given to society, to the consumers, to the marketplace? What have you given? Probably nothing. So why should you get anything? And that's called a sin. Sin is transgression of the natural law. You're sinning. You're going backwards. Don't think about how much money you can make. Think about how much you can give. Because the more you give, the more you will get. And that's how it works. The more content you produce, the more hours you put in at work, all those things will produce more results, which will lead to a better harvest. That is how it works. But so many people want to play the lottery. They want to try to steal. They want to try to trick. They want to try to do all these things to try to scam. Don't be scamming. Yeah, you might win temporarily, but you ain't going to win in the long term. Let me tell you that right now. Yeah, you can win in the temporary, but you ain't going to win in the long term. Just ask Al Capone. IRS got him. You have to play the long game. Every time you try to cheat the system will bounce back and will foot you the bill. That's how it works. So do not think that you can take shortcuts out here in this life and you're gonna win faster, or it's gonna produce results for you that are better than before. Trust me when I tell you this. There are no shortcuts. And any shortcut that might work in the short term, it's gonna rob you later on, because it's the bill gonna come. Bill gonna come, brother. And if you don't like that, guess what? Doesn't matter. That's reality. We win in the end. This is true. The women win up front. But gentlemen, we win in the long run. If you put in the work now. Not later. Not tomorrow. Now. I hope that you actually heard what I said. I understand that most people only retain, I think it's like, what, 18% of what people... You only retain about 18% of what you hear. So if you need to play this over and over again, you're more than welcome to do that. Because I just gave you so much free game. I talk about this in depth in my manual coming out, my book, Biblical Bachelor, that'll be available on Halloween. It's available for pre-order right now on Amazon. It should be in the bookstores not long from now. I'm working on it. But my friends, listen to me very carefully. I gave you a lot of free game. Now, whether you choose to use it or not is up to you. But my goal is for you to be the best version of yourself and develop your own personal philosophy in it. But that's in your hands. I can't do it for you. I got my own hands busy enough as it is dealing with my own life. But you will win in the end. If you keep your head to the sky, you move forward, and you never give up. My friends, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless America. Remember that we will win in the end. You will win in the end. It's only a matter of how hard you work and for how long. The harvest will come, but first you must sow the seeds. Peace.